Dear students, I welcome all of you once again to our formative assessment session. Last month you have already submitted project and activity. Today we are going to discuss about the science experiment which is there for you. Okay, so let's see what experiment we are going to do today. So students, today we are going to learn about this simple method of water purification which can be done easily at our home as well. Okay, so basically what do you exactly mean by the water purification? See, the name itself says that the water purification. Purification means what? Purification means the removal of harmful substances. Whatever harmful substances or whatever contaminated substances which are present inside the water, we are going to remove that. Okay, so basically the process of removal of harmful substances from water. So when we remove any kind of the muddy part or any kind of the microorganism part from the water, and then when we make it clean and safe for drinking purpose, so that process we call it as what? Water purification. So did you understand what do you exactly mean by the water purification? So water purification is the process where we are removing the harmful substances from the water. We are making it clean and safe for the drinking purpose. So this is called as what? Water purification. So today we are going to learn step by step about how we are going to conduct this experiment and what is the aim of the experiment. So basically now you know that what kind of experiment we are going to do today, and today's aim of the experiment is that you can see here, to purify impure and muddy water. To purify impure and muddy water by simple method of water purification. So let's say for example, if the water is very turbid, you must have seen that during rainy season and etc., the water which we get at our home, it is completely muddy, it is completely impure. We can't drink that water. If we drink contaminated water, then there are the chances that we might get diarrhea, dysentery, jaundice, etc. Correct? So to avoid all the type of the harmful diseases, we need to purify the water. So what is the aim of the experiment, students? So aim of our experiment is to purify impure and muddy water by simple method of purification. Okay, so this is our aim of experiment. Afterward, what are the apparatus which we will require today for this experiment? So the apparatus means what? What kind of materials we will require. Okay, so basically there are different type of the material which we will be required for today's experiment. So let's see what are the materials which we will require today. So the materials which we will require, that is, here you can see that a plastic bottle. Plastic bottle means whatever easily available at home, that plastic bottle you can use, reusable plastic bottle. Okay, so plastic bottle, if it is present at home, that you can use. Afterward, you can have a piece of clean cloth, and cloth should be cotton cloth. Okay, so avoid taking any kind of silk cloth or anything other part. So we have to use here cotton cloth. So there should be cotton cloth which should be there. Okay, after that, a fine sand. Fine sand means what? Fine means what? A small particles, a sand which has very small particle. So fine sand should be there. Okay, and at the same part there should be coarse sand. Coarse sand means what? A sand which is slightly bigger than the fine sand. Okay, the size of the soil particle which is slightly bigger than the fine sand, that you can have it. Afterward, if it is available at your home, you can have the powder coal as well. So even powder coal also we can use. Okay, so the coal we get from the burning of the wood. So when we half burn the any type of the wood, we get the coal material. Okay, so if you got the coal, you have to convert into the powder form. So powder coal you can use. And after that, you can have the glass beaker. So glass beaker in school you must have watched. Okay, glass beaker means what? A kind of glass material. Okay, that you can use easily. And at the same time, you should have the muddy impure water. Muddy impure water If it is not available, then simply what we can do, we can take a glass of water and we can put 1 spoon of soil inside it. So it will turn into the muddy impure water. Just to observe whether our experiment is going to work or not. Okay, so this is what are the apparatus which we are going to use today. So did you understand what type of the apparatus will require for today's experiment? A plastic bottle, a piece of clean cloth, fine sand, coarse sand, powdered coal, a glass beaker, muddy and impure water. So these are the materials which we are going to use for today's experiment. Okay, and after that, now you must be thinking, what are the procedure which we have to follow? So let me tell you the procedure one by one. Okay, so the procedure number 1, step number 1. Step number 1 is that take a plastic bottle which is having like any type of this soft drink bottle that you can use, any type of Pepsi, Thumbs Up, etc. So any type of the soft drink bottle you can use for this purpose. And the second step for this procedure is that tie a clean piece of cloth over its mouth. So suppose if you have a plastic bottle, on where the mouth part of the bottle is there, from where we drink it, no? So that mouth part should be covered by the cloth. Okay, so the mouth part of the cloth should be covered properly by the cotton cloth. So this is your second step. Third step is that what you can do, cut off the base of the bottle and hold the bottle upside and down. So if you have a water bottle, cut it into the middle part. Okay, the base part of the bottle you have to remove it completely, and you have to make the bottle open from the upper side. Okay, so this is what you have to do here. You have to cut the bottle into 2 parts. After that, what you have to do here, you have to pour some powder coal into it. So when you invert the bottle, you have to invert the bottle. Means what? The mouth part of the bottle, it will be in the downward side. Okay, and again you have to pour the coal part. So if you are not able to imagine that, I will show you the image so that you will understand in better way what exactly I want to say. Okay, so here you can see that here in this part, see, can you see how I have shown you here? See, the bottle part is tilted over here. So you have to tilt the water bottle. So the mouth part should be inverted. The mouth part of the bottle, it should be inverted. The plastic bottle should be cut in between. And at here you can see that here in the base part, okay, the powder coal is there. Okay, so first step is that when you invert the bottle, you have to pour first of all powder coal here. Okay, now afterward what you have to do, once you add the powder coal, step number 5 is that then add some fine sand and lastly coarse sand. Means what? First what you have to add? Coal, and above the coal surface what you have to add? Fine sand, the soil particle which are the soil particle which have the smaller size. Okay, and on top of that you have to add coarse sand. Means what? The soil particle which are slightly bigger in size. Okay, so that material you have to add one by one. Okay, then step number 6, what you have to do, you have to see to that there should be basically 3 different layers which are forming inside the water bottle. So in water bottle you should see 3 layers very clearly. It shouldn't get mixed into each other. There should be 3 different layers, one above the another. At bottom it should be charcoal layer. On top of that it should be fine sand layer, and on top of that it should be coarse sand. Is that clear? So this is how you have to make the 3 layer distinctly. Can you see here in the water bottle? Here you can see that powder coal, the one whole surface you can see, and on the above the coal surface, can you see the fine sand layer over here? Can you see here distinct layer, the small size particle of the soil? And on top of that you can see that the large soil particles are there. That means coarse sand here. Okay, so this is how you have to do the part here. Okay, so this is how you have to. And one more thing, again we are not yet done with the procedure. What you have to do, you have to place this plastic over the glass beaker. As I have shown you here, you can see that here the bottle which is inverted in the beaker. So you have to take the glass beaker, and inside the glass beaker you have to keep your plastic water bottle inverted like this as shown in the image. Okay, and again what you have to do here, now you have to slowly pour the muddy water containing the rubbish slowly into the bottle. Means if you have any impure water, you can pour very slowly from the top part of the bottle, so that it will get purified inside the 3 layers of the soil, and then the whatever part you will get, that will receive in the beaker in downside. Okay, so this is how you have to do the procedure. And once you pour the muddy water containing all the rubbish, now observe carefully what you will see. Okay, you have to observe very carefully whatever part you will see. So once you observe everything, you can see that over here, there will be slowly the water will flow inside the glass beaker. Okay, now you have to observe that the water which is collected in the beaker, that is in the impure form or that is in the pure form. So that is your the observation part. Okay, so now let's see the observation, what we can see here. So after some time, when slowly the water will drip inside the glass beaker, what you will observe? You will observe that the water collected in the glass beaker, whatever water which is collected in the glass beaker, that appears clear without any turbidity. What do you mean by turbidity? Turbidity means what? Muddy part of the water. Okay, but here in this case, the water is without any turbidity. Means what? The water is clean and clear. There is no soil particle, there is no contamination, there is no harmful substances. Is that clear? So the water will be very clean and clear without any turbidity. Okay, so this is what you will observe. And most importantly, in the glass beaker, whatever rubbish part has been added previously, that got completely disappeared, and water appears to be very clean, and that water, it is safe for drinking as well. Okay, now you must be thinking, what exactly happened here in this procedure? How exactly the water got purified? That's the thing you have to remember. Am I right? So the thing is that what happened, when muddy water is strained through the layer of the powdered coal. When muddy water is strained through the layer of the powder coal, fine and coarse sand, it becomes very clear. Because students, the reason is that a powder coal has the ability to purify the water completely, because charcoal absorb all the impurity which is present inside the water, and once the charcoal absorbs everything, the muddy part, it will get purified very immediately. Okay, but let me tell you that though water appears to be clean, but there could be microorganism in it. Okay, so if there is a microorganism, we can't consume that water, because sometimes it seems that the water appears to be clean, but there are certain microorganisms which are present in it. Is that clear? So that doesn't mean that if water is looking very clean and clear, that means it is safe for drinking, because microorganism and small organism which cannot be seen with our naked eyes. So if microorganism present in such water, then we have to boil such water and then we have to drink. Is that clear? So this is how we can purify our water by using the 3 different layers of charcoal, fine sand and the coarse sand. And charcoal absorbs all the impurity which is present inside the water. Okay, so here what is the conclusion of this experiment? So the conclusion of this experiment is that the muddy water can be purified using simple method of household. Okay, so muddy water can be purified very easily at our home also. So at home also, you must have noticed that during rainy season, if we get the muddy water, so we filter that water either by cotton cloth, or at our home water purifier must be there. Okay, so this water can be purified very easily. Otherwise, very simple method, just boil the water, then it will be safe for drinking purpose. So what is the conclusion of our today's experiment? Muddy water can be purified by using simple method of household. Is that clear? And most importantly, please students, notice this diagram. You have to draw this diagram in your project paper. Okay, so this is what exactly I want the diagram. You have to draw the diagram as it is. You have to draw this diagram with the pencil only. Draw the diagram with pencil and label it as shown in the diagram here, and Once you are done with the diagram, do box the diagram with the pencil. Is that clear? So can you see here in this experiment? Here it is a glass beaker. Here it is a glass beaker, as you can see that, and here in the glass beaker we got the clean water which got purified by this method. So here it is a pure and clean water. Okay, here you can see that a glass beaker is there. This is the clean water is here. Then you can see that the cloth is attached at the mouth of the bottle. Here it is a coal powder. On above that, there is a fine sand layer, and above that here you can see that porous sand is there. Okay, so this is how you have to draw the diagram. Okay, so I hope so students, you must have understood the today's simple method of water purification. Now what you have to do, now I hope so you must have done with you must have understood the experiment. Now depending upon this today's experiment, I am going to ask you 3 questions. Okay, and questions are very easy. You have to find out these questions answer from this video only. Okay, so if you watch this video very carefully, you will get to know all the answer very easily. Okay, so to get the answer, watch this video very carefully so that you will get all the answer immediately. Okay, so there are only 3 questions you have to answer. So what are the 3 questions here? Question number 1. Name the materials required in this experiment. So here in this experiment, whatever apparatus, whatever materials we used, you have to write down. You have to write the question, and below that you have to write the answer as well. Then skip the one line. Now question number 2. Question number 2, what is water purification? You have to write down the definition of water purification. Okay, so again you will copy the question. Below that you will write the answer. What is water purification? And after that, question number 3. How does water collected in the glass beaker appear after water purification? Okay, so these are the 3 questions you have to copy down, and below that only you have to write the answer. Okay, so this is how you have to copy all the question, and you have to find out answer by yourself. Okay, so I hope so students, you must have understood the today's experiment very well, and this experiment is there for 5 marks. Okay, so if you write everything what I will ask you, you will get 5 on 5. And I want neat and label diagram, and at the same time write everything in the proper manner and with proper handwriting as well. At least handwriting should be readable. Okay, so now what you have to do, listen carefully. Take your project paper. On project paper, write the name. Okay, write the aim of the experiment. Then write down the apparatus, everything displayed in this video only. Go back to video, you will get aim and apparatus, everything. Then you have to write the procedure. I have mentioned all the procedure here in this video. And write down the observation of this experiment. Then draw the diagram of this experiment. Then write the conclusion. Okay, and after that, just now I gave you 3 questions. Okay, you have to copy down the 3 questions and you have to write the answer as well. Okay, so this is what you have to do for today's submission. And before submitting, on the paper as well, on paper top side, okay, on top of the paper write your name, your SID number, your roll number and your division. So these things are mandatory to write down on top of your project paper. Okay, and then after that start writing all these things. And again, as I told you, you have to convert everything in the PDF format. Okay, and after converting into the PDF format, you have to submit on the new link which we have already provided you. Okay, so this is the new link which you have to submit. Here you can see that division for standard 5, division A will submit on A division link, division B will submit on B division link, division C will submit on C division link, and division D will submit on D division link. Okay, so this is a new link which we have provided you, and on this new link only you have to submit your experiment. I hope so you are clear with the experimental part. Okay, I repeat once again what you have to write. On top of your project paper, you have to write your name, your roll number, your division, your SID number. Okay, and after that you have to submit on this new link which we have provided you on WhatsApp. And again, most importantly, the date of submission. Okay, you have to submit your project, your experiment on 14th September only. See, to reduce the confusion, we have allotted you different dates for different subjects. So please students, do the experiment submission on only 14th September, not before that. If anybody do the submission before 14th September, then your project won't be assessed. Okay, so do your submission exactly on 14th September. Is that clear? So I hope so. You must have understood with the method of simple purification of water. Okay, so we will stop here. All the best for your submission.